Have you ever received a message you weren't supposed to open? No, neither had I. But now it doesn't matter, because I'm no longer myself. It started just after midnight. I was lying in bed, doom scrolling through my phone, barely paying attention to the blur of posts and meaningless updates. My room was dark, except for the glow of my screen. The hum of the night was thick and too quiet. Then, a new notification. A text message from an unknown number. No name, no context, just a single line. Do not open this photo at 3 a.m. They are watching. Attached below was a photo file. I stared at the message for a long moment. Weird, probably some prank or spam, but something about it made my stomach feel wrong. I almost deleted it, almost ignored it, but I didn't. Instead, I set the phone down and told myself I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't open it. I would forget about it, but I didn't. By 2:59 a.m., I was still awake, and I was staring at the screen, my finger hovering over the image. 2:59 nachts. The seconds on my phone crawled forward, my thumb hovering over the image. My heartbeat felt unnaturally loud in the silence of my room. I told myself I wouldn't open it. I told myself I wasn't that stupid. But curiosity is a slow, poisonous thing. 3 Uhr nachts. I tapped the image. It loaded instantly. At first, it looked ordinary. An old, grainy photograph of a room that looked just like mine. Same bed, same dresser, same window with the blinds half drawn. But then I saw them. Faint, shadowy figures in the background. They weren't clear, just dark smudges standing near the edges of the room. Near the walls. I squinted, tilting the screen for a better look. The longer I stared, the more solid they seemed. And then, I swore one of them moved. The photo starts changing. I blinked. The figures were closer. I could make out the vague shape of heads, shoulders. I swiped away from the photo. My breath came fast, uneven. It was a trick of the eyes. It had to be. Hesitating, I went back to the message. I tapped the photo again. They were even closer now. A dozen dark figures. Standing in my room. Their faces were still blurred, like they weren't finished, like they were still forming. A chill ran down my spine. I lowered the phone and glanced around my actual room. Empty. I looked back at the screen. One of the figures tilted its head. My stomach dropped. I tilted my head just slightly. The shadow in the photo mimicked me. But wrong. Delayed. Like it was learning. I felt something cold creeping through the air. My skin prickled, a deep, unnatural sense of being watched flooding my body. Then, the phone screen glitched. The image flickered. Then, the figures turned their heads. Now, they were looking directly at me. The screen glitched violently, warping the image for a fraction of a second. Then it went black. I sat up straight, my breath caught in my throat. My thumb tapped at the screen, desperate to bring it back to life. Then, a vibration, a new message. I swallowed hard and looked down. The same unknown number. The same empty, nameless sender. Only this time, the message was different. You opened it. Now they can see you. I froze. A cold, slow dread crawled through my spine. My gaze drifted back to the dark screen, and in the reflection of the glass. I wasn't alone. The shadows are here. I turned my head. Nothing behind me. I looked back at my phone. They were there, standing behind me in the screen's reflection. The figures from the photo, no longer blurry, no longer just shadows. They were clear now, solid. I could make out faces, but something was wrong with them. Their eyes were empty, pits of blackness. Their lips stretched too wide in silent grins. And then, they moved, a slow, unnatural tilt of the head. I turned instinctively, and the power went out. My room was swallowed in pitch-black darkness. No phone screen, no streetlights outside, nothing. And then, the whispering started. The mirror shows the truth. A soft, rustling murmur filled the air. Too many voices. I held my breath, too scared to move. Then, a faint glow. The mirror on my wall was pulsing, casting the only light in the room. I shouldn't have looked, but I did. And in the mirror, I saw them. They weren't reflections. They were behind me, and they were closer now. I stared, my body frozen in terror. The figures blinked. a fraction too late, like they were still learning. My chest heaved. I forced myself to turn, but nothing was there. Just the dark, empty room. But when I looked back at the mirror, one of them had stepped forward, and its hand was now reaching for me. The figure in the mirror took another step forward. Too close now. Its hand stretched toward me, long and wrong, fingers twitching. I turned, heart hammering, nothing behind me. But when I looked back at the mirror, it was right there. Its fingers brushed my shoulder. A shock of ice-cold pain shot through me. My breath left my body in a choked gasp. Then, the mirror cracked. A thin, jagged line split the glass. And something inside me broke too. The phone lights up again. My phone vibrated. I didn't want to look, but my hand moved on its own. A new message. No text this time, just another photo. I didn't want to open it. I really didn't want to open it. But my thumb tapped the screen anyway. The photo loaded. I stopped breathing. It wasn't a picture of the old, grainy room anymore. It wasn't a picture of shadows in the distance. It was a picture of me, sitting on my bed, holding my phone. But something was different. The me in the photo had no eyes. Just empty black holes where they should have been. And my mouth was stretched into a silent, frozen scream. I dropped the phone. The screen glitched violently. Then, a new message. 2 words. Look up. They are here. I didn't want to. But my body wasn't mine anymore. My head lifted against my will. And in the darkness of my room, I finally saw them, standing all around me, closer than before. Their grins too wide, their heads tilted, waiting, watching. I tried to scream, but before the sound could escape, everything went black. Silence. No light. No sound. Just an endless, crushing void. I wasn't in my room anymore. I wasn't anywhere. Then, a dim glow flickered in the darkness. A screen. My phone screen. It floated before me, a single new message waiting. I reached out with hands that didn't feel like mine. The message opened by itself. No text. Just another photo. I looked, and I understood. I am in the photo now. It was my room, but I was in the photo, not sitting on the bed, not holding the phone, just standing in the shadows, watching. My eyes were gone, just black voids. My mouth was frozen in a silent scream. And I wasn't alone. There were others. Dozens. Hundreds. All of us, trapped in the frame, waiting, watching. I tried to move. I couldn't. I tried to scream. Nothing. Then, the screen glitched violently. A new message appeared. You didn't choose the photo. The photo chose you. Someone else will be next. The screen faded. The void swallowed me. Somewhere far away, a phone buzzed in the night. A new notification. A new message. And an attached photo, waiting to be opened. By someone else. By you.